That's a novelty little thing, ain't it?
You like the truck?
That's your truck? Yeah, you fooled me.
A lot of
I'm
people.
about to say, why would they pull up here with chicken in the
So are
truck?
you trying to get people to
I know
go
it was a
vegan?
picture. I know the picture.
I'm trying to get people to think about animals for a second. We
Are
killed.
you trying to get? Are you
I
selling
said
chicken?
I might want to
No,
go. I might want to eat vegetables only because that's kind of disturbing.
Yeah, I've been vegan 20 years. I've been driving this across America trying to get people to think about chickens.
But you're a chicken
As
company.
in not to eat
It's a
them.
joke. Yeah, I park in front of chicken restaurants and it plays the sounds of dying chickens.
Oh,
See up top, there's speakers.
that's funny.
It makes the sounds of all the chickens in the slaughterhouse because this is on their last day. The first time they ever see the light of day is on the way to the slaughterhouse. I actually passed a real one on the way here from Conway today.
Oh man.
Yeah, and we kill 10 billion chickens
Ooh.
every year in America.
I mean,
And-
that ranks right up there with the 100 billion bees we kill every year for avocados.
Everyone says avocados. That's really funny. I'm from California. I know exactly. You know that the number one plant that they actually pollinate is soy and alfalfa.
Even worse.
Well, about 90% of soy goes to cows, of course, and all of the alfalfa goes to cows.
Soy's a worthless bean to begin with.
Well, cows eat a lot of it, so I mean, you can't have chickens and cows and pigs without soy.
True.
Something like 87% or something like that goes to
And you
livestock.
can't have soy without bees.
Yeah, but you really
That's right.
fooled me. Yeah, you really fooled me. 'Cause I was like, y'all allow him to sit up here in the front with chickens in there, like in the cages?
Yeah,
I
man.
was like, he might want to move them, tell him to move to the back. I said, that's kind of disturbing.
I get people a lot. They go nuts. They think they're real,
I
especially
did at first, but then he finally said, it's the picture. I said, oh. I said, well, I
especially when the sound's on. People they freak out, and it triggers people too. People come and screaming at me.
I showed with a screen. I said, you lost your dog on mine.
Yeah, I'll be like,
You
go
wanna raise
vegan.
some
That's
chickens in
that.
the
That's the
cage?
idea. If it bothers you, go vegan. Like they're all burned. They're burned because they live in their own urine and feces. We've bred them so they're so big they can't stand up.
Well, so what's, in your opinion, what's the difference between growing chickens real close together that we eat?
Yeah.
And growing, I don't know, an onion real close together. It ain't got no room.
Well, I
to
mean, I guess
spread
the
out.
question is like, do you think that it's the same? Is it the same thing to stab a tomato as it is to stab a dog in this throat?
I don't eat dogs.
But do you think it's the same?
I mean, if
No.
as far as philosophically, sure.
But you know it's not true. If I cut a tomato for a sandwich, no one thinks I'm crazy. If I stab a dog in the throat, I'm going to jail.
Yeah, it's saying I could make the same argument that if I'm eating chicken for dinner, nobody thinks I'm crazy for doing that either.
That's true because it's legal. But I mean, all sorts of slavery has been legal in America, and this is what these animals are born into bondage.
Slavery? You're equating chickens to humans now?
I mean, it's not me. Aristotle called them slaves. So I'm not.
So Aristotle was the know-all, be-all, end-all?
No, I mean Aristotle, birth of philosophy. It's not the. I'm not the first guy to make the.
Just because he birthed a movement about something doesn't mean he was right about it.
Actually, he was for it. He wanted the status quo. He believed that slavery was okay, and he also thought that eating chickens was okay. But he
I
called.
don't think you could ever equate an animal in being raised for food as being a slave.
Well, they both want to be free. If you open the cages, they run.
Do they?
Absolutely, yeah. Every animal, we're just like animals. We want to be free. Put me in a cage, I want to be free. Taking somebody's liberty is wrong.
Equating an animal to human equivalent is wrong too.
I'm not saying they're equivalent. I'm saying that
And when
they're.
you start attributing,
I think that their desire to be free
when
is
you
equivalent.
start attributing social
I'm not.
things to animals, then
It's not social. I'm saying that they want to be free, and it's wrong to take their liberty away from them. I'm American. I believe in freedom and liberty, and I think that taking the liberty away from an animal is the same as taking it away from a human. The reason why I want to be free is because I'm an animal. The reason why they want to be free is because they're an animal. And you could say they're different. They are different. They don't speak English. They don't have money. There's all sorts of things that are different. But wanting to be free is the same. And
and since they can talk so plainly, you've asked them all these grievances they've got about freedom and all that.
I tell you what, I've seen a lot. I see him run when someone's trying to kill him. I see him.
So does everything.
That's
if
the
a
point.
human runs, I mean, I'm sure a plant would too if it had legs.
Well, plants actually have to be eaten in order to reproduce. Like a tomato, for example, I had to eat the seeds. I shit out the seeds. The bird eats the seeds. It shits out the seeds, and that's how they reproduce.
I can cut a tomato open and use the seeds without eating it.
Yeah, but you still have to gestate them. They have to be in water. Yeah, I mean,
They don't necessarily have to be eaten propagation.
No, but that's the strategy that evolution has got. I mean, this is something as old as Darwin.
Some of them, maybe.
Some of them, yeah. Most like fruits too, yeah. I mean, you could say something about like leafy greens and certain things that you're right. Maybe they didn't evolve that way, but they didn't evolve a survival mechanism either from being eaten by
there's
large
some
animals.
plants that ain't gonna survive unless you burn them.
That's true, yeah. But that's not the same thing as, again, you're saying it's crazy for me to equate an animal to a human. I'd say we're a lot closer to animals than we are to plants.
Sure.
That's all I'm saying.
I'd agree with that.
And so like the whole like whether or not plants feel something, it's a bit, we all know. We all know it's different.
I don't know. They just had scientists that showed two plants talking to each other.
They have ideas about that plants actually have a much more complicated life than we give them credit for, but it's still no flight reflex, no central nervous system, no capacity to suffer. There's no reason for them to evolve that. We get scared, we run. Someone wants to hurt us, we recoil, we feel pain. So does an animal. I mean, everyone's seen a dog in pain, everyone's seen a cat in pain.
Sure.
When you hit an animal in the street and he's still suffering, your immediate impulse is to put the animal out of his misery or get him help. It's not to eat the dead animal or.
All right. So what about their eggs? It's okay to eat the eggs?
The birds will actually eat their own eggs because we've bred them to the point where they have to get their nutrients back. In the wild, they have about.
I mean, as far as the vegan's concerned, is it okay to eat a chicken egg?
No, because
no nervous system, no flight.
You're right.
Reflex, no.
You're absolutely true,
nothing.
but all these birds are they're egg laying hens. It's not really
Sure.
about their capacity to suffer is why I consider them right, but the fact that they are in bondage and are bought and sold like this, they all end up with their throat slit. Every egg laying hen ends up with their throat slit. They live in horrible conditions where they're pissing and shitting all over each other.
Kind of like prison, huh?
Worse, yeah. Except worse because prisoners still have rights. We've taken away all their rights.
And like, as far as I'm concerned, they never had rights to begin with. They're animals. I mean, that's just
No legal rights.
their food.
Yeah, but that's something that you can say that about any group. We've done that to lots of humans too.
I think that
Decided that these ones have rights and these don't. And that's what we do to animals. Like we see eagles, they have rights, but chickens don't. That's just speciesism. It's just like, we like those, we don't like those, whatever. We can buy and sell these, but the ones that are free, you know what I mean? We make those decisions. Those are arbitrary, but to them it matters. To them it definitely...
we absolutely do not know that.
What happens to them definitely matters to them because you've seen them scream. Of course you do.
I mean, at that instant, but you go and take one and ask it 5 minutes before you put a knife to it, it has no idea whether it likes it or not.
The only thing that I know that they have is their lives, and we take that away from them.
And they are tasty when we do.
Yeah, but I mean, sensory pleasure doesn't defend horrible actions.
It's not sensory pleasure. It's
Sure, it's a taste delicious. That's a sensory pleasure.
it's nourishment for your body.
You can get nourishment in all sorts of ways. That has nothing to do with whether or not they're delicious.
Doesn't mean
I haven't killed an animal for 20 years.
I haven't killed a plant for 20 years.
Nope, I don't fuck with them. Yeah.
What do you do, sell chickens?
I drive to chicken restaurants and annoy them to try to get people to think about chickens for a second.
I think about chickens every day. It's just a good thing I don't like them. I don't like the taste of them. I'd rather eat cows.
They want to live too.
Yeah. Unfortunately, they're not going to.
Well, like I said, we could all endeavor to be what we want in life, I suppose, but
I put this shit up, Scotty. Hell, I've been out here. My daughter come and holler at me for 30 minutes right there.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. My used to be daughter, first wife.
Yeah.
I'll be here for a few days. You could take a look at my chicken truck.